This is a presentation of Northeast Streaming Sports.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another Philly Sports Guys show. Today is Tuesday, the 26th of July, and we had a game yesterday. After getting swept by the Cubs, they did exactly what I expected to do. They played up to their competition. It was a little bit of a back and forth. They gave the Braves, the Phillies gave the Braves a 3-run cushion to get started, come back, tie it up, and then of course the Braves take the lead 4-3. You're beginning to think this could be the start of something really ugly here, and next thing you know, Bryson Stott comes out of nowhere and hits a 3-run home run. It's not a walk-off because they do it in the 8th inning, but ultimately comes through in the clutch and takes the win. The first one in this series, 6-4. They get off the snide of playing the Cubs. The bats come a little bit of alive. Obviously it came from people that you weren't necessarily expecting it to happen from. He literally, like I said, Bryson Stott coming in with a home run, also had a double in this game. And you know what? Their pitching wasn't so bad in this game. They did strike out nine Braves 9 times. I'm not sure why they will only allow Ranger Suarez to only pitch 5 innings. He only had 78 pitches, was doing pretty well, gave up 4 hits, 3 earned runs, and struck out 4, only walked 1. He didn't get credit for the win. It's not, he has to go 6 innings, so he doesn't even get credit for having a quality start there. I'm excited to see if they get a pitcher at the trade deadline. I think that it would be better for him to go back to the bullpen and come out of there. I think that would give a little bit of stability in there. Obviously, I'm not real keen. You haven't seen some of these pitchers come out of the bullpen at all because Thompson just doesn't want to use them. But ultimately, I feel like that he would actually solidify some of the bullpen. He'd be great 6th, 7th inning guy and go in a couple of innings to be able to get to an 8th inning where I'm a real fan of Blatty. I think that he's been pitching real well. Sir Anthony Dominguez is actually doing well. He gets his 5th save. Blatty gets the win because it how happens in the 8th. Alvarado's pitching okay, pitching well. Connor Brogdon, he's hit or miss. They've been doing that. I think that they need a little bit more strength in that bullpen. They do have a guy in the minors who's pitching really well. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get through. He did really well in single A and double A. I think they're going to fast track him to triple A to see if he can pitch against those guys up there and may even make it to the majors this year. I wouldn't mind them trying to do something to be able to solidify the starting rotation and move Ranger Suarez back to the bullpen, where I think he would do a lot better, especially in the playoffs. I feel that if anything else, they're going to wind up only going with a 4-man rotation in the playoffs instead of 5, and that they will be able to move Ranger back over there. I think he's been doing okay here, and it's better than doing bullpen games. But ultimately, I feel that he's might be a much stronger asset to have in the bullpen. So ultimately, I actually have some highlights today, courtesy of NBC Sports. So I want to make sure I put the tag up there. We're going to watch a little bit about what happened yesterday and some of what Bryson Stott and some of the strikeouts that came out for the Phillies.
And at those games and being able to talk with both of them.
Oh, wow. How about that? That takes a Phillies special bounce. 2 runs will score. Stotts to second. That's going to be a bad hop double that'll drive in. And that one's pulled into left field, a base hit. Vierling's around third. He's going to head home. He's going to tie this game up. An RBI single from JT Realmuto.
And that's the other thing real fast before we continue with this highlight. Vierling going up in the top spot. He does get hits, and he does steal a base, which is what put him in scoring position for that single, and was able to tie up the score at that. And then Ranger Suarez throws a couple of strikeouts here, as we're about to see. But I wanted to definitely stop it right there. That run was produced completely by Vierling with the hit and the stolen base to be able to get in scoring position for that RBI. Let's go. Let's keep going.
2-pitch. Swing and a miss. The Stone Pony on Sunday. They said that was awesome too.
The Stone Pony.
Yep.
We're not getting it. Uh-oh. Ranger might have hurt his hip.
JT just looked over to the dugout. Ground ball to third. Backhanded by Camargo.
Wow.
Flips to second for 1. Over to first. That is an amazing. These are some hands right here.
Not something that you would have been able to see from Alec Bohm. At least we don't think so. But it was a quick hands, get that double play.
Swing and a miss.
My first swing.
Up the third base line. This is going to be a tough play.
Was,
Camargo bare hands, nothing he can do.
Nothing
Infield
that
hit,
could happen there.
Riley
They
scores,
get that little bloop.
And the Braves take the lead. It's 4-3 here. Runner goes. Pitch line to center field. It's not deep. Coming on as Vierling makes the diving grab.
And Vierling there doesn't bang his ace, but does
piece.
make the grab. He likes to do those diving catches.
Vierling's eyes are wide as he's able to put it away. Swinging 3-0. Hoskins over near
This
the
would have been
railing,
something that turned
and
into
he's there, and he can't hang on. Be careful.
Doesn't make a catch.
Reese
Could have
cannot
wound
hang
up
on.
bad. They didn't
Kinda
score any runs from
handcuffed him.
that.
I mean, gets to the
they were
rail.
able to get him out
You see
afterwards.
that ball looked like it started drifting back?
Do you think the rail came on him faster than he thought?
I think so, but it hit him right in the heel of the glove and then off his chest. And
Yeah, that could be an error, and probably should be.
yeah.
Runners go. Pitch is lined out toward right field.
There's
It's
that.
deep.
There's
Acuna's
the hit.
going back. It's gone! The Phillies
That
take the
game-winning
lead.
home run
a
there.
3-run home run by Bryson Stotts.
They call it a lot better than I do. With 2 outs in the
Swing
ninth.
and a miss. He's looking. Fly ball right center field. Castellanos is there. The catch is made and the ball game is over. The Phillies end their 3-game losing streak, and they take one right out of the mouths of the Braves to win it by a final score of 6-4.
There you go. And there's your final 6-4. They literally take it out of the mouths of the Braves, who've been playing very well as of late. That was a good win. It was a good team win. Like I said, it's great when there's somebody who isn't expected to pull this one out for them. Did that, and they now are. They catch up a game. Obviously they were 9 games out before. I think they are 8 as we speak. But it was very great, and exactly there. Frankie is always happy that the Braves are losing. He's just upset, because his Yankees are going to still lose to the Astros again this year. But we won't talk about that because this is a Philly show and we ain't talking about the Yankees. I do all my Yankees talking in the morning at 6 o'clock. But the Phillies, like I said, they strike out the Braves 9 times. Vierling does go 1 for 4 in the top spot. They move Schwarber strikeout on the day. Hoskins goes 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Real Muto gets the hit with the RBI. That scores Vierling, actually ties that game up at that point. And Castellanos, who is fresh off of his, war of words, from Saturday, he gets a couple of hits as well. Good morning, Sneaky. Welcome to the show. Bohm hits very well. Was the designated hitter yesterday. Went 3 for 4. Obviously with 1K, but 3 hits, 2 runs scored. That worked real well. Munoz playing second base, and Bryson Stott at shortstop. The back end of the order. Castellanos 2 hits. Bohm 3 hits. Munoz 2 hits. Stott 2 hits, and of course 5 RBIs for Bryson Stott. He had one of those career games, as you call it, and they are able to take it away from the Braves, especially coming off of a 3-game set where they got beat by the Cubs. It's going to turn out to be something worthwhile. I think that this race is far from over yet. The Mets are going to come back down to earth. I do believe that the Braves wind up winning the East, but ultimately, when we can take games away from them, that works out real great for us. Today, just to go back to that real fast, we're going to see Strider versus Nola. Spencer Strider has a 4-3 record, a 3.03 ERA, 114 strikeouts, and 74.1 innings pitched. And Aaron Nola, who's 6-7, with a 3.13 ERA, 137 strikeouts, and 126.2 innings pitched. So obviously, it's it's going to be a quick one today, which is great. It's going to be really hot. I appreciate that, Kenny. Thank you very much. And I appreciate Melissa for telling me about my hair. I just got it done yesterday. As you know, she's my hairstylist and one of the best in the business. So if you want to get hair looking this good, you got to go to my girl, Melissa. Anyways, the Phillies doing well. Let's see. I think that puts them. They're still a half a game out in the wild card standings to St. Louis. Let me pull that up here real fast. Yeah, St. Louis still holds a half a game on the wild card. They are 2 games above the Giants, who have slipped down to 500 over there. The Padres, who are slipping down as well. The Padres right now are only 3 games above, and the Braves, again, as well, only 7 games up on us on the wild card. I think that this is going to be. I think the Phillies definitely make the playoffs. I think the Cardinals or the Brewers. It's going to be interesting to see how that dynamic works. But I think that the Phillies are going to overtake them. The Phillies are said to have the 4th easiest schedule moving forward, so that's going to really play a big part here. I think the Cubs series was a little bit of an aberration. Again, they didn't play for, they took the time off. It looks like the Cubs practiced all week, so they were able to get their bats moving and rolling, and ultimately they did something pretty well. And I think, like I said, I felt that maybe they were looking a little bit ahead, and they showed it to that they were ready to play against the Braves, not necessarily against the Cubs. So ultimately, they did well. As to answer that for Frankie, I don't think so. I don't think that the Phillies are able to do it at the trade deadline, specifically because they don't have enough assets that Washington would want. And I don't believe it's going to get done in the offseason, kind of for the same reason. I feel that they're going to get bigger hauls from other people. If you want to take my opinion on where Juan Soto is going to go, there are 3 teams that I kind of feel, one being a really big dark horse that I think is going to wind up pulling it ahead. But obviously, I feel that the Yankees may have enough to be able to give to Washington and get Soto there. I wouldn't be surprised if the Rangers, the Texas Rangers, try to pull something out of their hat. They are 7 games back in the wild card standing. It might be a little bit better because they did win yesterday. The Rangers, actually, they're 8 games back in the wild card standing. I kind of think that they might be a player in that because, again, they do have some talent. I wouldn't put Houston past it, but the sneakies that I think are going to get Juan Soto could be the Seattle Mariners. I wouldn't be surprised, and it would kind of be apropos for Washington to send them up there to Seattle because, Seattle is always a great spot to kind of go to. Let us take a quick 1-minute break, and as I go over these important messages, and I will be back in just a moment.
The Hometown Foundation is excited to bring back the Dream Ride experience, August 26th to the 28th at Connecticut's Farmington Polo Club. Join us in celebrating the accomplishments of our Dream Riders while enjoying live music, a car and motorcycle show, family fun zone, pet adoptions, canine demonstrations, the Fireman's Chili Cook-Off, and much, much more. Get your tickets today.
You can see right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboys fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this
I'm
team.
ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face.
Oh, I'm from Brooklyn.
Hey, get us any.
And we are back. Welcome back as we are talking about everything that's going on in Philadelphia sports. Don't forget PhillySportsTrips.com, PhillySportsTrips.com /TPSG. There you can get to book to any Eagles trip. They have some Phillies trips still in the works. We go to Flyers, we go to Sixers. The Phillies, they're actually going out to Pittsburgh. They're doing a Pittsburgh trip this weekend. So if you want to go anywhere about Philly sports, definitely get a hold of Philly Sports Trips, PhillySportsTrips.com. Vince and the family over there do great work. They do top-notch trips. Everybody who goes on these trips have great times and really do enjoy themselves. So please, if you want to go to an away game or you want to go to a tailgate this year, we have our tailgate happening in the Navy Yard, so we can go there. It's not that far of a walk. It's only a 7-minute walk to go from the Navy Yard to Lincoln Financial. So come hang with Philly Sports Trips. Again, PhillySportsTrips.com /TPSG, and you get to see all the trips that they have available. Going back, talking about football, camp opens up today. Today they go through their physicals, they get their playbooks, they get their room assignments. They're going into camp today. And there's lots of questions that are going to be happening. I mean, everybody has higher hopes this year for the Eagles because of the way they had their draft and the way that the moves that they made. There seems to be like that there would be a lot of high expectations on these Eagles, and rightly so. So I would believe that there's going to be one big question that is looming. Is Jalen Hurts the guy? They gave him the weapons. We got Devontae Smith. We have A.J. Brown. Those guys. And then, of course, you have Dallas Goedert, who I think is going to be one of the guys who really makes a big splash here and does really well because of those guys. I feel that there is a lot that is on the table here. I said that we needed to give A.J. Brown 10 games. Really, I'm bringing it down to 9 games. That's half the season. We need to make sure he's doing well. We have a fairly simple schedule or easy schedule, and we should be able to come out of the gate. I'd like to see us come out like 4-1 in the first 5 games. 3-2, maybe if we gave up something really bad there. I believe that this team can win 11 games. and make a serious splash in the playoffs. I actually have them going to the NFC Championship game. I think that they could do that type of jump this year, that I kind of look at it as back in the day when we had Andy Reid. That first year they made the playoffs. They didn't really do much. That next year where they make that jump and they wound up going against the Rams in the NFC Championship game. They really took that leap there. And then, of course, excuse me, they went to a couple of NFC Championship games before they would break the snide and go to the Super Bowl. Unfortunately, they didn't win that one at that point. But I kind of feel that this team is very similar in makeup and structure, and that they should be able to make that type of jump to go from the playoffs, where they got beat by Tampa Bay last year, to go to the NFC Championship game. And then once we get there, we'd have to see what's going to happen after that. Hey, Dave, I appreciate you inviting me out there, the Steel City Renegades, but I'm a Philly guy. I don't do Pittsburgh. The black and gold or black and yellow, whatever you want to talk about it out there, that's them. Anyways, just definitely want to talk about, like I said, this Saturday I had gone to the Philadelphia Phoenix, and we finally got the highlights. It takes an extra day to get the highlights from the AUDL, but it really was a great game. I'm going to show a few minutes of highlights here. It really is fast-paced action. You get to see kind of what happens in game time. Like I said, it was pretty quick. Even as hot as it was actually kind of cool there. There was a good breeze that went by. There was about 500-600 people in the stands. They went up against the New York Empire, who was came into this game undefeated. If there was a New York Yankees of Ultimate Frisbee, they would be it. Their team, they spend the most amount of money. They buy all the players that come in and do that. They do have a couple of even ex-Phoenix players that get paid. That team just gets paid a lot more than everybody else. So if you are really good at Ultimate Frisbee, usually the Empire knows about it and they have you guys come down. But it did go a little bit back and forth. Unfortunately, the Empire was able to just take it towards the end. But let's take a look at some of the highlights of this game.
Throw from Jack Williams, who Paul Owens with an unbelievable layout.
This is a great defensive play here.
In his hands and
just literally and just stole it away from the defender there.
For Philadelphia.
Gavin to Demo. Demo looking end zone. And it's in. He finds Eric Whitmer.
They get in these games. They get these quick breaks, and they just go right down the field really fast.
Right. That's fair. I think he is physically lighter, not quite as heavy, but that's a good point. Good question.
Some people like their lights.
Here we go. And then
heavy.
One of the things that happens really well.
Greg Martin on Antoine Davis. And Greg Martin, big
great plays. These long drives to get over there. There was one of the signatures that New York did. They did score a lot of points of 50 yards or more.
Philadelphia finds Sean Mott.
But the Phoenix was also able to do some of the same.
Prado looking deep. It's a blade, and James Pollard gets it in a layout. Grab from Greg Martin. As hard as it needed to be, Philadelphia's
and that was the score right at the end of the half.
1 second or no seconds on the clock, but definitely scores.
But that means New York's playing good defense on the first and second options.
Prado now arcing it all the way.
Pollard is one of the better players on this team. This guy is like 6'5" years in height, and is able to sky and get the disc when it's up there. So he's able to win those 1-on-1 battles.
For James Pollard. Pollard,
as you see, he seems to score a lot of points for the Phoenix. He's definitely one of the biggest point getters for that team.
Deep. And a bullet from Ben Katz to Scotty Zoo, former Phoenix player Scotty Zoo, too low. Philadelphia.
Scotty Zoo, it almost looks like he's going to be back here in a couple of maybe a year or so. He's leaving the Empire, maybe come back to the Phoenix. Let's hope.
Does the trick as Martin with another. You want to talk about reading things from across the field.
This was a great comeback play.
Brownlee, Scott Heyman in there, and
when it's a block or something like that, it's a turnover. So they start heading back down the other end of the field.
For the end zone for Brandon Pastor. Kobira tries to get in there, but he doesn't. Talk about speeding the game up.
For me. So you need to have awareness as well as an ability to control the space
This
around
is a
you.
great
Sean
drive
Mott
here.
with a sense of the timing puts it deep for James Pollard. James Pollard on Matt Ellis.
Just
Not
able to
enough.
jump over these
Matt
guys
Ellis
and
there.
just get right
About
out there.
2 inches.
Again, a
not enough.
60-yard,
James Pollard with
70-yard
the
throw.
sky.
Pollard did a good job of getting in front of the defender and going up nice and early. And can they get another point on
And
the
then at the end of the game,
Pastor has the disc. They're double teaming James Pollard. They're not marking again. Philadelphia's got 6 seconds left. They need to score. That disc is going to hang perhaps too long, even if it's in bounds. It is. Alex Thornton to the end zone, but
couldn't
not
make it.
in bounds.
Unfortunately,
and time will expire. 5-point game. Pretty close. Like you said, just one break a quarter for New York. But New York will take the win and complete their undefeated season. 24.
Too many mistakes by the Phoenix. They did have a couple of turnovers there that really hurt them in this game. You have to, once you have the disc, you have to put the proverbial puck in the net, and they just weren't able to do that. And New York was able to take advantage of those mistakes. But it really was a quick-paced game. They do play a game again on the 30th, so definitely go out to the Philadelphia. Parking is free. There is a small cost to the game, but go ahead and support our local teams. This is a professional team. They are very approachable. You get to talk to them after the game. You get to talk to the coaches and the players and the owners, and it really is a lot of fun. It's a great thing. And we play against the Ottawa. I think they're called the Outlaws. So it should be a lot of fun this Saturday, 6 o'clock. On the 30th. So definitely come out, support them. The Phillies aren't in town. I believe that there isn't any game in MLS also, or if we are, let me make sure. Oh, we actually are up against Houston that day. So you may want to, like I said, both teams, both of our local non-4 top teams. So go to the Union, go to the Phoenix. Definitely check them out. Like I said, they are your Philadelphia teams, so definitely make sure to do that. Obviously, Philadelphia is competing right now for the Supporters Shield and getting ready and gearing up for the playoffs. They are still number 1 in the Eastern Conference, so I expect that they're going to have a great game against Houston, who is 11th in the Western Conference, so I expect that they're going to come here and try their best, but ultimately, I expect that they will get a loss at the hands of the Union. It should happen on this Saturday, and that game is at 7:30 p.m. on the 30th. So 6 p.m. over at the Philadelphia Super Site, 7:30 over at Subaru Park. Go check them out and go enjoy some of Philadelphia's other teams besides the Phillies. Obviously, the Eagles are getting started up. I'm going to be right after that. I'm going to be heading over my way to Canton, Ohio, to watch our guy Dick Vermeil get inducted into the Hall of Fame. And we got an over-under. I put the over-under on when he's going to cry during his speech at 8 minutes. I was told that the under is the best bet there. We may have to bring that number down some, but we will see. As I can imagine, he wears his heart on his sleeve. He always has. He's been very emotional about through this whole process. But from what I understand, he hasn't cried yet. So I guess he's waiting to be wearing that gold jacket and ultimately, go out there and waiting for the speech and then seeing all the faces that he loves all in one spot, to be able to enjoy the fact that he is going in the Hall of Fame. As an Eagle, he may have won a Super Bowl with the St. Louis Rams. The LA Rams are not even acknowledging the fact that St. Louis had a team or that they won a Super Bowl. So, he's going in as an Eagle, because if you're not going to, he got his Super Bowl trophy. And it's funny because he must have dropped it or something. That Super Bowl trophy's got a big dent in it. That's just kind of funny to me. It's like, it wasn't an Eagles one, so who really cares? It just goes up on the mantle and collects some dust. Not a really big deal, actually. But congratulations to Dick Vermeil and everybody else who are getting inducted into the Hall of Fame this next week. That's going to wrap it up for our show today. So I appreciate everybody coming on. I will be at the Phillies game a little bit later to watch the Phillies hopefully take the series away from Atlanta and win this game. Hopefully they can give some run support to Nola. But in the meantime, everybody have a great Tuesday, and we'll see you tomorrow.